By the way, if you're enjoying the video, make sure to subscribe and click bell notifications on. Alright everyone, this is the episode review as well as any additional information. They showed off a video where it's Belial versus Rage. Rage is normal, and then bada bing bada boom, it does a burst on Rage. I think it also, it bursts another one. I think it bursts Volcano? Just going off of memory. But the strength of this thing is insane. They showed it only in low mode, I believe, not in high mode yet. So right off the bat, it already looks pretty interesting. Now, of course, we can argue that they rigged the battles for the thing to make it look good. And while they do have a good point, this stamina on this thing is, like, insane. Like, it outspins Brave. The stadium, I'm okay with. The stadium is fine from what I've seen. I feel like attack types are going to have a more interesting time on it, which I prefer. Like, dude, this stamina on Belial is, like, insane, or whatever, however they say it in Japanese, Belial. But just to go over, really crazy. So to do the thing, so they do the opening segment, which I thought was really cool. Like the anime, so obviously they always have the opening segment where they go over the stuff. Really like the animation there when it starts off, when he shines and everything. So the opening sounds so cool. I like the visuals. So I like how he's being served like a little plate thing, and it's just his bae that's on there. So clearly he's going to have a friend group where it is going to be Basara. I think it's supposed to be the little sister, I think, a Tanner or something. And then after there's Ranzo, the Kiyama brother. So they're definitely going to have this fun dynamic where they're all practicing, where they become friends. So that's going to be really cool. So, really interested to see where this goes. I really like the visuals. I thought it was very comedic with a lot of stuff. And they focus on Louis, Free, Shu, and then Valt. So what I'm curious, and he rides the avatar at the end. It's really cool. The opening, he bursts Ragnarok. And this seems to be our antagonist, because they do a great deal of focus on it. So he's clashing with Valt and everything. And this is our antag. So, what is the name of the antag? I'm just trying to get it. I forget what the name of the antag is. Is it Rashad? Rashad Goodman? I don't recall, but definitely this is maybe my second favorite opening. First is Shozetsu. So it starts off with him beating up all these bays. By the way, you can check out on the Koro YouTube channel to get a VPN. Set the VPN to Japan on the Koro YouTube channel. I use Tunnel Bear for an example. So he bursts all these like fodder bays, and he's so menacing, and they like pitch his voice to make him sound evil. So you see that there are all these bladers that are running away. So he's got like this scary, I guess, mansion or whatever, and they're all running away in fear. And you hear all the screams. So they start to explore the place, and then after we see the shots of random bays, this one was kind of funny. It is a red first Uranus, which I think has a ray color of a metal tip, and has like a really wacky 2D. What's funny is that it makes no sense why there's an 11 there, because it's a double chassis bay. But I guess it's just probably next to it or something. The stadium's there. So then after Bell appears, and he challenges, and he uses Death Solomon. I still hate that Delta did not appear in the show. But what's interesting also is that they mentioned later on that the bay is small and compact and has good stamina, which I think is really interesting. He's got like the Louis laugh too, and it sounds really cool. And it cuts to BC Soul and Louis on his island, and the battle starts. So he has a cool dynamite launch. What I do find funny is that this is Hikaru's launch. I swear to it's to my memory, that should be Hikaru's launch. So I find that very funny. So Solomon does not have an avatar in this, sadly, but everyone's watching the battle. Oh, and he's got a special move called Dynamite Bomber, which you're going to see in a second. He's got a kind of an okay power-up sequence. The avatar looks pretty cool. I kind of like how it looks. It looks like a... So it looks cool. It looks cool. Reminds me a lot of Lucifer a bit. So he does Dynamite Bomber, and he beats this kid so bad, he gets blown back by the sheer energy of him. And he hits, so he has like a little bat camera recording the match, so he's like a bait tuber technically, and he was streaming the match, and he gets beat up so bad. And then after, Louis just starts laughing because he wants to challenge him. I still don't like Louis' color for like the dark blue and the red, but maybe it'll grow on me. So he challenges the world. So this is how it starts off. He challenges the world, the blading world. And then after, I really like this one. This is actually a really good background I might use. I like this. So then the second episode starts. So it's free. So this is the only time, they always do that at the start now, where it's 1 and 2. So it seems he has a strong resonance with Belial too, because he's talking to it so casually. And unlike Hikaru and Hyuga, he doesn't have to. He's clearly trained with this stuff, and he has more resonance with his Bey. So then after, what is it, Basara does not want to see the video where he got pwned. Louis goes and challenges him. So he has Rage Longinus still. Now the reason why he still has Rage and not a DB Bey is because this is the introduction. Everyone's like so surprised with the DB system, and they kind of show it off. So the thing that's cool is that Louis' launch, when he does it, it's not just the same sparking launch. He kind of crouches down and he does like the whole nightmare boost thing, which is, they didn't have to do it and they did. So Longinus goes like crazy, and Louis is a beast in this. So when Louis goes around, his Bey's going like crazy, and when he tries to charge up against Belial disappears quickly, then he attacks. The reason for this is because the performance tip Venture sort of performs like, was it Nexus Venture? Yeah. The performance tip kind of performs like Anchor, so it kind of uses that aggressive movement, and it's so fast against Louis. He's blitzing Louis. And he knocks Louis up in the air, and then after Louis is like, alright, bet. So he comes crashing down, and he does, this is a new animation for Raging Upper. I kind of like the sparking one a bit more, but I'm a little bit impressed. They did another animation just for his special move. So he's clashing with it. He does Raging Upper one time, and you get this cool rotating shot where his Bey is there, and then it goes to Louis. So Longinus goes for it again, and Longinus is pounding the Bey. But what happens is then after he lands on top of Longinus, so Louis thinks this Bey is weak because it's small. But actually, what's really cool is that the compact size everything was on purpose. And it's so interesting. So the system, all the Beys being small or whatever, it's all on purpose. And the reason why is because it's so cool. And that's how he wins. He wins because the Bey is smaller. It's got this whole weight thing going on, and Louis can't beat him. So he beats Louis. How he does this because he does Dynamite Bomber, and he does a burst on Longinus. Now, for those who are saying, no, that's not, okay, why should Louis lose? Okay, here's why I'm going to justify it, compared to, let's say, if Lane did this. You have to consider the fact that Louis has a Sparking Bey, and this kid has a DB Bey. So when Louis loses, he's not losing because the kid is technically stronger. He's losing because Louis has no experience against the DB system, so he loses bad to him. Now, you get an interesting reaction from Free in this, because Free was paying attention during this battle, which is likely why that armor piece that resembles Fafnir seems to be the case. And that is definitely an armor piece. I don't believe that is the blade or whatever it's called for Fafnir. So at the end, he's gassed up because he just like defeated Louis. Next episode, I believe it's supposed to be Ragnarok. I don't know, the Kiyama appears. My thoughts on the episode, I don't think animation was something crazy, but I think the CGI animation was definitely stellar. Now, I know some people are probably going to be upset that Louis lost, but I think context matters on this. I think it's going to make, if you notice in the opening too, when he's clashing, it's specifically that they have Sparking Beys. So what I'm assuming is that we're probably going to see him beat these Bladers when they have Sparking, and then they're going to go make the DB system version of their Beys. Now, here's something to note. If we look at the opening for who appears first, Louis, Free, Shu, and then technically Valt at the end. Now, the thing is, we know Fafnir is now 200% for May. 200%. So my question is Longinus probably for June? I really wish they went with Longinus for May and not Fafnir, because he beat Louis, so it makes sense we would get DB Longinus, but I'm so curious to see how this is going to go. Let me know your thoughts in the comments. As always, the new start of the new series. Like and subscribe. Check out the news videos, and have a good day. Stay blessed, stay positive, and have a good day.